Okay, hello everyone. So today I'm going to bring you a TBC Hardcore Alternative Meta for dungeon groups. This meta focuses on a two healer comp in order to provide the extra safety and to reassure the tanks, because you don't want the tanks to be dying to anything dangerous or unexpected or sudden that happen, like the healer getting CC'd or some silenced or whatever distraction that might occur. So you will be having a two healer comp in each dungeon group. So we start off with each one of the tanks. We drop the protection warrior, the protection paladin, and the feral combat druid or guardian druid, that as it is called later. And we're gonna look at which healer do we want to bring. Want to bring always the resto shaman, because that's totems, that's bloodlust, that's all that you need, and it's undeniable that it's OP class. So if you have a resto shaman and one of the tanks, what else do you need after? You need to see which one of the really bumper classes fits the best with this type of tank playstyle, and then you need to see which healer benefits the group the most, or both the tank and the DPS at the same time. So to start with the protection warrior, I think that the class that fits the most with them is the mage, because the extra CC allows the warrior to tank even the large packs just one or two at a time, and then they can just DPS one target at a time down, while most of the mobs are CC'd, and they can just always reshape, and if they spec into the slows, they're okay. They can run and pretty much everything safely. So in regards to the second healer, which one would fit best when you already have one? So with the protection warrior, which one would buff both the protection warrior and the arcane mage? So you already have a resto shaman, so it's either a priest or a druid or a paladin. So in this case, even though the priest would be good, I think the paladin would be best, because they provide kings, which would increase the mana of the mages, the mana pool, which will allow them to pump more. If it's a longer fight, they can put wisdom. You can also put salvation if it's like a boss fight, but usually the tank should be okay if it's a good one. It gives kings to the protection warrior, and it also increases his agility. So all in all, perfect. Also, kings benefits when the resto shaman does the mana tithe for the arcane mages, and if the tank is really struggling for threat, it just does salvation. Now we move on to the protection paladin, and the protection paladin himself already provides salvation and kings for himself. So in this case, we're not gonna really want the holy paladin as the second healer, but we want someone that can AoE, which is the king of AoE, and there's only one in TBC, and that's Destruction Warlock. And you know that there are videos out there, I will try to link one in the description, that promote alternative specs that actually do even more Seed of Corruption DPS. I'm gonna give a shout out in the description, because I don't really remember who made it, but he's an awesome guy. I saw it linked on Discord the other day, and I watched the video, and I really recommend it for anyone thinking of just breezing through dungeons. And always remember that the protection paladin has a stun, has the arcane torrent. There are fears here if you keep pulling the mobs back and slowly dragging them back, so to be extra safe. And there's also death coil to interrupt caster mobs, so you're good. So if you're not taking a holy paladin as a second, do you want the restoration druid? Not so much. You want someone that actually improves the party and The second best will be the Discipline Priest. The Discipline Priest, why? Because it has the Power Infusion, which will increase the damage, and it also has the Pain Suppression, which will help with the really large AoE packs. And it has a cooldown of I don't remember how much, but I will link it there, and you guys can see it. So I think you can use it once every 2 or 3 packs, something like that. Okay, so now we go on to the Feral combat. Feral does a lot of damage, so who would complement a Feral really well? And I think it's the Hunters, because they synergize really well, they benefit each other. You can have one of them go survival if you want to, but I think Beast Mastery, both of them work well, and usually I think it stacks the Ferocious Inspiration. I need to double check on that. But if not, you can just have one of them be survival and you're good to go. Now, they can just feign that. They can CC with Frost Trap, with Freeze Trap. They can do the stun with the pets. They have everything that will help the Feral survive a little bit longer. And even with the slows, they can just kite for days if something bad happens. So now let's see again in terms of the which healer would best fit as a second healer in this case. And I'm gonna have to go again with the Paladin because it's Kings and the Blessing of Might would just obliterate and any other buff that the Discipline Priest would be able to give. Because it would give stamina only and the infusion, but that's not gonna benefit the Hunters. So the Holy Paladin will benefit the group overall in the best way, I think. And that's it. This is the TBC Hardcore Alternative Meta for extra safety. So good luck, have fun, and try to stay alive. Thank you.